All right, let's do it. On my way to the store. Got to pick up some eggs, actually. Ran out. I ate too many eggs last couple of days. Anyway, so apparently I'm stirring up a little bit of controversy in the USMNT fans group for the soccer groups, because they're posting things, which I think honestly actually happens every year, that they're posting that, hey, the World Cup beat the World Series, baseball World Series, in ratings again. 22 million in America versus 17 million. And that's good for the World Cup. Hey, that's what they want. But I think what they were trying to get at and work their way towards is that, well, there you go. Soccer in America is bigger than baseball. And I tried to, I jumped in and I just said, because I don't mind steering into controversy. It's actually kind of fun. I don't mind having good debate and external engagement rather than just within my own group. To say, well, that's not apples to oranges. What you really want to compare is the CONCACAF Gold Cup to the World Cup. To the World Series. And those ratings. Let me know how those two do, and I'll let you know who's bigger. And I bet you baseball hasn't beat by a country mile. And then here come all the arguments, right? Oh man, you don't understand, and it's just this, and it doesn't have the tag and stuff. Yeah, because they're both the biggest event in the sport, and that's what we're looking at, and they're just bigger overall. And people talking about Messi this and da 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 da. And I try to make sure you understand, y'all, the World Cup happens once every 4 years. It's an event. The whole world watches. It's planned years in advance. We all know where it's going to be. It's once every 4 years. It's like the Olympics. It's a massive event. And the World Series happens every year. So the rarity of it goes away. Or is nowhere near as, because it's so rare, we're not going to see this again. I'll be closer to 50 than I am to 40 the next time the World Cup comes around. My daughter will be working her way through college when the next World Cup comes around. It's therefore, you gotta watch it. It's just not there normally, because it's only once every 4 years. So I said, I should hope the hell so it gets more ratings than the World Series. And then they tried to say, well, America wasn't in it, but it got that big of a rating. Don, you don't understand. I said, well, not every baseball team is in the World Series. There's only 2 of them. In their clubs, their teams. So, and I can tell you right now, outside of a couple of marquee teams, if the Astros or the Guardians aren't in it, I'm not breaking my neck to watch the World Series. And then, of course, you got the teams you love to hate, the Dodgers, Yankees. Throw the Braves in there. You just want to see them lose. So you may watch some of them. And maybe there's a big story, like when the Cubs first won, and God knows, over 100 years or whatever. You want to see something like that. Other than that, it's not that big a deal. And the ratings should bear that. That's why so many people say that, and all these major sports are similar to that. That's why some people say that a lot of these sports are fixed, because you got to because they need the ratings bump for the advertisers to give them more money. And so they're going to want the bigger teams to do well, the bigger cities, the New Yorks, Los Angeles, Chicago's, Dallas's, maybe, Houston's, maybe, but it's really, New York, LA, You want them to be really good. But anyway, back to the World Cup, right? And I'm almost want to hit him with it, but I figured let me just go on my recorder for it now. I was like, okay. I was like, okay, hot shot. How much in America sports talk is the reflection of the society, the sports society? Oh, what are these dogs today? Interesting. Oh, what a slot. Yeah. The dogs is one. Anyway, the sports talk radio, the main sports podcasts are a reflection of the sports fan in America. Because, and just so you know what I mean by that, they only talk about what we care about. They have the ratings. I think they have the ratings. Someone in television may jump in and say, that's not how it's done. But in some form or fashion, the ratings, I think they have live ratings at this point. It's right in front of your face as you're talking. They know how many people are actively listening, largely. They can project that as you go through the show. So they know, and they have all the data in the world, all the analytics in the world to tell them which sports, which segments, which portions of sports discussions are getting the highest ratings, the most viewer retention, listener retention. And then a step further, with the advent of podcasts, lots of YouTube podcasts, lots of YouTube shows, the views are right there. We can all see that. How many views do you have? How many likes do you have? How much comments and engagement do you have? So when First Take on Monday morning talks Dallas Cowboys as if it's all of our team, as if we're a local show in Dallas, where they talk Dallas Cowboys for the first 45 minutes of a 2-hour-long show, it's because the ratings tell them that's what we want to talk about, what we want to hear, what we're talking about. That's why they have Michael Irvin on there on First Take every Monday now to talk Cowboys. They don't have John McClain from Houston to talk the Texans for 45 minutes on Monday morning. If they talk the Houston Texans 45 minutes on Monday morning, First Take will be canceled. And everybody would be fired. If they brought Garrett Bush on every Monday morning, it's all Cleveland Browns football, the stuff I like, First Take would be canceled. Everybody would be fired. You bring on Michael Irvin and talk Cowboys, ratings through the roof. So that's what they do. And the minute that the audience gets tired of it and the ratings reflect that, they'll stop. So I say all that to say, it's kind of hard to put in just a simple post or a simple comment to somebody else. I say all that to say, what did the major sports talk radio shows talk about on Monday morning after the World Cup? The World Cup was Sunday, Sunday morning-ish in most of America, mid-morning, maybe by lunch. So you got your boozy brunch, World Cup final Sunday night for us here, so that kind of worked out. So what did they talk about? Well, I looked it up. So I can't watch all of them. And I have some podcasts I just have on my feed, and they just say the subject lines and timestamps and all that. I looked it up. They talked the Cowboys. They talked the Chiefs beating my Texans. They talked the Patriots with their foolish backwards lateral play that lost in the game against the Raiders. They talked a little bit of, a little bit of playoff projection for American football. That's largely about it. Because I actually was curious on First Take, would they even get to the World Cup? And they had a third of one segment that Stephen A. talked about how Messi's good. Then Michael Irvin sounding like the biggest creeper in America, saying basically, well, you see that crowd out at Man, this air, man, I sure would love to be a part of that crowd. Woo, 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 I love to be in that crowd. I think he plays that character, but so I can do that. He's playing the character. But yeah, that's what they talked. Nothing. And you figure, well, Don, that's ESPN. World Cup is owned. The rights for World Cup is owned by Fox. So let's go to Fox. Colin Cowherd. I don't think he didn't mention it. It's not even on the description. The biggest radio shows they have all day. They spend the whole mid-morning to afternoon is dominated by these television shows. Shows which I am telling you are a reflection of us. First things first, barely mentioned it. Then you got what, Cowherd. I don't think he talked it at all. Undisputed, Skip and Shannon. Surprised Shannon still hasn't slapped the crap out of Skip Bayless. Didn't talk it. Or it's not enough to warrant a subject line or a timestamp in their podcast. So if they did talk it, what that means is, when I say a timestamp, they time in my app, Stitcher, they timestamp the segments so you can just skip right to those segments. That always get cute that they put the timestamp just before the commercial starts, so you gotta listen to the commercial, but whatever. They put the timestamp there. Nothing. No, so all the subjects were American football, were the NFL. They didn't even talk basketball. They didn't talk college bowl games, Celebration Bowl, Primetime Sanders, whatevs. Didn't get a mention. Or if it did, it wasn't enough to get a timestamp, which means it wasn't a full segment, which means it was a minor discussion point, which means we don't care about it enough, or at least not as much as the other stuff. And that is with so many of these soccer bars in America packed. So while I do appreciate it, and I appreciate the soccer guys in America, of which I guess I'm one. I was at the World Cup. I'm a Dynamo guy, Houston Dynamo guy, Arsenal guy. I watch Arsenal every week. Dynamo, after a while, I just can't handle it. It's just too much crap. I'd rather get some sleep. But that's what America is reflecting back to you. The soccer world in America is still niche. And that's with the World Cup, with one of the best guy of all time. Don't get me started in Argentina, but one of the best guys ever played of all time, and one of the best, what I think may have been one of the best soccer matches of all time, didn't get a segment in the mainstream sports world in America. Didn't get a segment. And it was literally just on Sunday. The New England Patriots, who I don't think are a playoff team, knocked him off. And then we go to the Gold Cup, CONCACAF Gold Cup. I bet you I can walk in and get a ticket. Not getting that for the World Series. The Gold Cup happens 2 times, once every 2 years. It's all North America based. That's a lot closer to what the World Series is putting up there. And it is, some of y'all listening, the first time you heard of the Gold Cup is me talking about it right now. Soccer has a long way to go in America to break through in the mainstream. And I hope it does. But dude, whose market share are you taking? You taking NFL? Because there's only so many hours in a day, right? There's only so much money I can spend. Who are you taking it from? Because the calendar is packed. You taking the NFL share? I don't know. The NBA has a couple of months that they're hot. I don't know. The NBA is going to have Christmas games. The Premier League in England is going to have their festive season. Who are they going to talk about in America? I don't know. March Madness basketball, there goes March from NCAA. You don't even take anything there. Baseball largely owns September. Man, it's the start of football season, American football season on top of that. Don't know what to tell you. I think, you got the NBA Finals, which is actually getting more and more global in its own right. There goes June. I think you got July and August, which, hey, I guess that's kind of when the World Cup usually tends to be. If you don't, as long as you don't have it in the Middle East, in a desert country, they'll move it to the wintertime. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I think we're niche. I think we're our own little secret society. We rent out one bar. We have to beg. We can all get together at one bar in the city. We have to beg the bar owner to put us on in the corner TV, other places. But it's niche. I think we have to accept that there's only so much space. And I guess you can hang your hat a little bit on that a major worldwide event beat out an annual club baseball thing, that any team could be in it. Kansas City Royals could be in it, small market could be in it. I guess if you want to hang your hat on that, but dude, I think you're delusional. I think you're completely delusional. But hey, what do I know? All right, y'all be cool. This was fun. Let me go in this grocery store. Peace.